Mark Gasset.
Yep, and we are good.
What's going on, you guys? It's Michael Myers back again with another live stream. Gonna be checking my phone just to make sure we're live. So you guys already know, man. We have a brand new live discussion. Yeah, we're good. Another brand new live discussion with my good friend Slashermovies410. And yeah, man, we're gonna be talking about this new Scream 6 movie, this new trailer that also dropped. I know I did do a live discussion about my thoughts. So you guys pretty much have an idea what I thought about the trailer itself. But since this is a trailer discussion as well, why don't you start off with your thoughts since I kind of already gave out my thoughts in my live stream
hmm
slash movies.
Yeah, sure. So thanks for having me on, man. I'm really excited to break down the trailer and get into this discussion. So ultimately, I really enjoyed the trailer. I thought it was action packed, fun, and suspenseful. And I'm really looking forward to the convenience store scene when Ghostface walks in and he picks up the shotgun. I know a lot of people are unhappy with the fact that Ghostface picks up a gun, but honestly, I don't have a problem with it because in all of the Scream films that we've gotten during those reveal scenes when the killers are unmasked, they all have like a handgun on them. So again, to me, it's really not a big deal. And it also makes sense that Ghostface would take a new weapon and use it to his advantage if he feels threatened. So again, it just seems a lot more realistic. And again, he's not going to be using a gun throughout the entire thing. We could just confirm that right now. I You could take it from me. I have a feeling he will not be using the gun throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, that's very true, man. And that's one of those scenes that I'm really looking forward to personally. Is that the little market store scene because it does look pretty intriguing, man. And yeah, and like you said, one thing that I really do like about the whole you could say New York scenario is that it makes the story kind of feel a little bit more real, a little bit more grounded, because it's for sure gonna take place in the city, so
Mhm.
you could say it's kind of like relatable in some way. So I think I think it will work with a lot of people, man. Hopefully.
Yeah, and I also really like the tagline of the film. I think it said something along the lines of "In a city of millions, no one could hear you scream." I think that's really clever, and it's true. I mean, there's like a shit ton of people in New York, and a lot of crime happens there, and it's more than likely that Ghostface kills a couple people and they get away with it. So I think it's realistic in that aspect.
Yeah, man, and I think Ghostface, the Scream movies, I think it was a good choice to like I could see Scream Ghostface running New York more than like Myers or like anyone else. So and since the Scream movies are fun, they're like fun slasher movies. I think the New York setting is just it's a good scenario for the upcoming Scream movie. So I really don't mind it personally.
Yeah, same here. I think it's good to have a change of scenery. Uh, Here's the thing with Jason Takes Manhattan. Say, for example, that movie was false advertisement. That movie, when it took place in Manhattan, that was like way that was the film was basically pretty much over at that point when they finally made it to New York. Um, and I don't know. I really like the change of scenery. I really think it's gonna work. And in my opinion, I think that the convenience store scene may actually be the opening just to change things up, kind of like how Scream 2 did with the movie theater opening.
Yeah, man. I think that'll be a hell of a way to start the movie, man. With that market store scene, man. I think that'll be a dope way to start off the film. A film like this because I heard, man, that Scream 6 might be the wildest film out of the whole series. So if that's the case, if that's the truth, man, that'll be a dope opening. That one scene right there. Um, I also wanted to mention something. One of the comments mentions Chippy. What's up, man? How's it going? He is mentioning. Did y'all see the deleted Paramount pictures tweet of Scream 6? We actually didn't. I don't think. Did you see it? Slasher movies.
No, I don't believe so.
Same here, man. But I mean, if it's deleted by Paramount Pictures, it must be something good. So, Chippy, if you saw it, make sure you fill us in and let us know, man. But we have Brandon loves the movies on the chat. What's up, man?
So, man,
Nice Hawks. Thank you, man.
thank
Appreciate
you.
it. You can see the live chat on your end, right?
Uh, I gotta look closely. Let me see. Oh, yep, I see him now.
For sure. Um, but yeah, man. Scream Six, the whole New York scenario, I don't mind it personally. Like I said, or like you said earlier, it kind of also reminds me of like a Scream Two scenario, and I really hope, I really do hope that's the case, man. And I hope they do a good job, like with like references and Easter eggs, because I heard this film will be full of that, or not full of that, but it would definitely be bouncing back and forth, that connection to maybe the previous films, especially the fourth one, from what I heard.
Yeah, for sure. And I actually have a little theory as far as the scene goes they're uh, um, where they're entering the convenience store. So I think this is how it's going to play out. Basically, I think the convenience store might actually be the opening scene just to change things up. I think that Sam, Tara, Mindy, and Chad, they all go to a store to purchase alcohol for like a big Halloween party. And they eventually see Ghostface in the convenience store and he comes in with the gun, but they eventually escape and then they run to a nearby subway station where we see everyone wearing the Halloween costumes because, it's Halloween night. So they're probably going to like a bar or a club in the city. So I just think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, man, for sure. And especially coming off the events from Screen 5, I mean, it does make sense. The reason how Ghostface follows what's her name, the main characters, Sam and Jenna Ortega,
Mhm.
we I think we gotta wait, see how that plays out. What's like the whole reason, or why Ghostface follows them to New York, because I mean that's the best thing that could happen. Like in real life, someone would actually move out, and I guess they move out to New York trying to live like a better life, or a different life, especially coming from the events of the previous film. So it does make sense, man. A lot of things in this, like a lot of theories I've been reading, it does come into play, man, because eventually evil will, they will be coming, uh ghosties will come be coming back knocking in their doors, man. So I think, and I just think Ghostface might be maybe the strongest Ghostface we've seen so far.
Yeah, he
Like
looks
I
brutal.
do personally think there will be more than one killer.
I do too. And in my
Maybe
opinion,
three, who knows?
yeah, I hope this movie turns out better than Scream 5. I like Scream 5, but in my opinion, the film really played it safe and it kept everything to a bare minimum. The movie just didn't really take any chances other than killing off Dewey and his death, of course. In my opinion, it was done terribly. And, there's no way a 110-pound girl can defeat a trained officer, but that's besides the point. Uh,
Mm.
in my opinion, Scream 5 just didn't have the charm or the subversive attitude of the originals, as much as the directors and the marketing team wanted us to believe. And to me, it was just like a generic slasher that cashed in on our nostalgia from the first film. The only thing that I actually liked is the fact that for the first time ever, the main opening girl actually survives. I thought that was really well done.
Yeah, yeah, it was different, and that's one thing that that really did caught my attention, when with Scream 5. Um, there is a few different things, man, but at the end of the day, it did play out as like the original. So that was my big disappointment. Um, and just the fact that in this movie we are getting more of kind of like the main characters. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't the biggest fan of the characters in the new adaptation of Scream.
Mhm.
Like I think Jenna Ortega and Melissa Barrera, they were pretty good, man, and I can't wait to see more of them. Especially Mindy, and I guess it's her brother, this other surviving character.
Yeah.
I really do hope we see more of them. We kind of get to not really know them, but you know, they do a little bit more with their characters, man. Especially Jenna Ortega's character, because in the previous movie, she was like in the hospital throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
So I think there's sense right there for the characters. Now I heard a lot of crazy theories, man, which like I said, I try not to go too deep because I just rather be spoiled till the movie comes out. But there's a lot of like talk, man, about Jenna Ortega or Samantha being kind of like the killer. Like, what do you think about that? Would you like to see like one of them kind of turn out to be the killer or something?
Personally, actually, there was one shot in the trailer what kind of looked like Jenna Ortega was giving like a bad vibe as far as like her facial expressions go. In one scene, she looked kind of mad, and I kind of paused it just right just to see that. So I don't know, but I'm not sure if I'd be able to take it seriously just because of Jenna Ortega is such a tiny person. I can't really picture her as a killer. But then again, you could argue that Amber was also tiny, and so was Jill from Scream 4. So I guess it could work, but I don't know, I just feel like they should just keep them as, like, a dynamic kind of duo and keep them as the heroes of this new, series. That's what I personally think, and, if they wanna introduce a new killer, I think it should be someone that's connected from the past or someone entirely new that we haven't met before and which we're gonna meet in this new movie.
Yeah, for sure. And I agree, man. Personally, I mean, I could see it happening, like with one of the sisters turning out to be the killers. But personally, I think it would kind of take away from the whole storyline or whatever they got going with, man. But I do agree. Like based on the trailer, there's a few shots in there. For example, this one, like I could see Samantha turn out to be the, like if they want to go that direction, I could see Samantha um turn out to be the killer more than Jenna Ortega, and
Mhm.
simply because of this clip right here, man. I don't know if you can see it,
Yeah, I could
the
say.
trailer. Something about this her expression, man. It
Looks
just,
ominous.
yeah, and it kind of like reminded me. Obviously, she will always have like this connection, this like spiritual connection to her dad, Billy
Mhm.
Loomis. Um, and I mean, you never know, man. Maybe his spirit uh takes over her, because obviously it runs in the blood. Um, so to see a serial killer's daughter kind of take his footsteps, her father's footsteps. I like I said, I could see it happening, man. But personally, I just think it will take a lot away, like that suspense level, with the girls. I just think it would take it away. But yeah, I mean, I could also see them introducing new characters. For example, that one new character we're getting, which is I think is a cop. We were
Mhm.
talking about it earlier, man. Which in my opinion, yeah, since we saw those photos that we got, and they showed a picture of that cop, which reminded me of like the new not the new Loomis, the new Dewey.
Mhm.
Um, Something about that guy is a little on my suspect list, man. So what do you think about? You think that guy will be like the killer? Maybe I think he has something to do with it.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. It all determines on the amount of screen time that he has, of course. But he's as of right now, he's on my suspect list only because it's like, how were these new killers or killer? Not exactly sure, but how were they able to obtain all of this Ghostface real life murder weapons and costumes and props and all that? It's like the only person that would be able to have access to those crime scene stuff is like a police officer. So that's what I think.
Yeah, man. And since this new character, I guess he's filling in the shoes, the role for Dewey.
Hmm.
Um, I could see him being like a suspect, man, because it does, like you said, it does make sense because only a cop, only someone like that would have access to that. And when I first saw that scene, like in the trailer where they're like looking like at the other like the previous killers' costumes,
Hmm.
um, I didn't really mind them. Like at first, it's kind of strange because it's like all these years, all these killings, right? They were like collecting the costumes. They were like making like some kind of museum out of it, because I'm guessing in the movie, um, like the Ghostface character, and we've seen it in the previous Scream movies. Like the Ghostface character is really big. There's like people in costumes everywhere, so I could see that impact kind of getting there. To like New York, they have like the Ghostface shaped map.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, I think it will have a lot of that, man, and just the fact that they have like the whole costumes from the previous films, like it looks, it sounds different, and it seems like kind of like interesting as well at the same time.
Yeah, for sure, man. And just to change gears a little bit, I was just wondering about your opinion on this. How many killers do you think there will be in this movie?
Uh, I for sure think it'll be more than one. I could see them kind of. I mean, I could kind of see them doing two, but I mean, three wouldn't be surprising, man. Just to bring up the ante. Even though if it was three, it will be a little bit more. You could say complicated, but
Mhm.
I mean, they're in New York, man. They're in New York, which you could say is bigger. I could see maybe three, but
Mhm.
yeah, I for sure think it's more than one. Three, maybe the minimum. Three.
Yeah, I really think there are going to be three or more killers in this movie. And I also think that the killers are going to be a part of a cult that is obsessed with true crime. Also, they're going to be obsessed with Stab and the murders that took place in Woodsboro from those previous five Scream films. And I think they're basically going to implement what Scream 3 was originally supposed to be, which included the main characters basically stumbling into a massacre that happened off screen, only for all of the victims to rise up. And they all turn out to be in a cult that worships Ghostface. And I'm really excited to see where they go with this because this has never been done in a Scream film before, and there is so much potential.
Yeah, man, and yeah, I've heard of that little theory before, and I think probably that's the best way they could go with it, man, because it has to do with like this person who's like obsessed with like real crime, like you said, interest, like fascinated with like the Stab movies. I could see it happening, man, because since Sam and Jenna Ortega were like the last victims of all this,
Hmm.
I could see why like a random freak, a random fanatic could like try to go after them.
Yeah.
But I also do think it goes, it will go back, man. Like as a code, like I've heard a few rumors about uh returning characters, like from other films coming back. For example, one of the bigger ones that I was reading about these days is possibly Jill from the fourth movie. Her possibly having some type of like connection in there. Her like pulling the strings, and it'll be, even though her character wasn't the biggest fan of, but since we didn't really get to see what happened to her, like with Scream 4, like it'll be pretty interesting if she was like the one behind all this madness.
Yeah, for sure. Uh, yeah, I really hope that for the first time they actually don't reveal who the killers are and they actually get away with the murders. And we have to wait until Scream 7 in order to find out who they are. I think this would get the fans so excited if they left on a cliffhanger, and I really hope that they do that.
Yeah, for sure, and yeah, I think that would really change things up. Like if they weren't to reveal the killer, just save all that for the seventh film,
Hmm.
because from what I've been reading, from what I've been hearing, they have a lot of plans for Scream 7, man, and I really hope that's the case. I really do hope they open Scream 7 on a good note.
Yeah, it's a great way to get the fans excited.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Because once you have that cliffhanger, man, I think it has the fans wanting more. They're gonna come back for more. So I think, yeah, I think that's a great idea, man. I really hope the filmmakers really like have a good story outlined and stuff like that.
Right, for sure. And also, there was a shot that I absolutely loved in the trailer, which showed all of the scream robes worn by the killers in each film. And I thought this was a really neat touch. And you could also catch a lot of Easter eggs in the shot. You could see Tatum Riley's shirt and dress from Scream 1. You could see Mrs. Loomis's white blazer from Scream 2. You could see the bloody shirt that Joe Roberts wore in Scream 4 and the theater mask that actually Sydney wore in Scream 2. There's just so many callbacks, and I really appreciate how they're actually acknowledging the sequels.
Yeah, man, and not just I did know. Yeah, I did notice that as well in the trailer. They're not just collecting like the Ghostface costumes. They're also collecting like the even like the victims' clothes. You know, like so.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a pretty cool touch. I did notice that they have like in their little museum. They have like they have all different stuff. You know, from the previous movies. You know, the victims' clothes and stuff
yeah.
like that.
They got copies of Gail Weathers' book, like the Woodsboro Murders. They got stab merchandise. They got everything.
Yeah, man. Do you think the stab movies will play a role in this film like the other ones?
I think they definitely will because stab has pretty much been mentioned in every single Scream film that we've gotten. You know, aside from the original, of course, but as far as sequels go, so I don't know. I could kind of see them making like a sequel to you know, I don't know. I just feel like stab's going to be addressed in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, and the reason I ask you that, man, is because I saw this photo. I can't really recall from where was it. It could be from the trailer itself. A shot. It was like I forgot who it was, man, but it's like a shot, and you see like a screen in the background.
Hmm.
Oh, I think it's that one scene though. The picture I showed you of Samantha, you know, where she has like that evil. She's holding the gun. She has that evil like smile, that evil grin.
Right, right.
In that scene, she's like pointing the gun in the background. There's like she's like behind the screen, and it looks like some type of stab movie because it couldn't be like scenes from the previous movies because I don't think because we would get to we would get to notice that might as well, but
Hmm.
whatever's playing on the screen, man, you can see like Ghostface, and I was kind of hinting, man, maybe it could be like because you could tell it's gonna be by the end of the movie, like some revealing about maybe Ghostface's history, or maybe it could just be like a screening of a new stab movie
Hmm.
that they came out with. I don't know, but that's one thing that did catch my eye when I saw the trailer.
Yeah, for sure. So I know there are a lot of rumors about Stu Macher coming back as the killer, and I know a lot of people are speculating that he will return and be one of the killers. What do you think about that?
Uh, yeah, I have heard that a lot. About the whole Stu Macher return. A lot of people are really looking forward to it. I believe some people even kind of like found Easter eggs of Stu Macher in the trailer, and even on the one of the posters. You know, the poster with the map as the Ghostface mask.
Yeah,
Um, but I personally wouldn't want to see it, man, because I think even the writer he confirmed that he was dead, right?
yeah, Kevin Williamson. Yep.
Yeah, he confirmed that Stu Macher was dead, man, and even with the fifth film, it was teased that he might return. Um, but yeah, I personally think we should leave that. I think yeah, we should leave that topic, man, because I don't think like people really do see it coming, man. And don't get me wrong, it's a great like comeback, a great how do you say a great like return, you know, especially a classic character like that.
Yeah,
Um,
I absolutely agree with you. I hope he doesn't return because it will just cheapen his character, you know, and by resurrecting him, the movie it will just feel really silly in my opinion. If they want to do like flashbacks, I guess I'm fine with that, but even I think that's a bit of a stretch and it's kind of unnecessary. You know, his arc in the first film is done and there's no reason for him to return other than nostalgia.
Yeah, man, and back to what we were saying earlier, man. This film kind of does. I hope hopefully it does have that real take on it. Like I said, it's gonna take place in New York, so it's gonna have that real feeling to it. And I think if they were to bring them back, man, it would really take it away. That feeling because yeah, and I don't even think we needed the writer to confirm it, man, because once we saw what happened to Stu in the first film, like to me, clearly he did die, man, and like you
Yeah.
said, I just think it would cheapen the character, the whole story. So yeah, I personally wouldn't like to see Stu come back.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people are speculating that he's coming back because, there's a mask in the trailer that looks like an aged, Ghostface mask. It actually looks like the zombie mask like this.
Yeah.
But, I really just think it's the original mask that one of the crazed Stab fans just simply wanted to keep. And again, Kevin Williamson confirmed that he will not be returning, so I trust his judgment.
Yeah, so the new mask, the new Ghostface mask is using it in the movie. So that's supposed to be like one of the original masks.
That's what I'm guessing because it's like, why else would it look so aged, you know? They kind of pulled the Halloween 2018 almost. It kind of has that same kind of look.
Yeah, that's true, man. Yeah, that's very true, man. Like I don't think it would be damaged if it wasn't like the original mask they use. So yeah, that's interesting, something to look into. Um, yeah, for sure, because it would make sense, if they were to like make it damage more old. Um, let's say this fanatic maybe got it from that one lab.
Mhm.
I don't know, a lot of good stuff, man.
Yeah, this, new killer has to have access to all these crime scene, uh, photos and videos and, masks and costumes and all this stuff, and the only person that I could think that would be able to get access to all this is a cop in New York, you know? Or in Woodsboro or something that maybe he was in Woodsboro and moved over to New York or something. I don't know, but that's what I think.
Yeah, man, and you never know. I think something now that you like, it just came to my mind. Um, what if they were to have like a new character as the killer man, and let's say this character, he's like in like you said, no one would really have access to all this stuff other than a cop. So
Mhm,
let's say it's more than one cop in this in this in this installment, in this new, what if it's like cops behind this whole thing, man? And I think that would be something interesting to kind of touch on, kind of like with police corruption, kind of like that would be kind of interesting. Like,
yeah,
let's say maybe someone in the NYPD, more than one obviously, is involved in all this shit.
mhm.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, that would be too, and that would actually dramatize the film a little bit more and give it some more depth. That's something I would like to see too.
Yeah, I heard this film is gonna do what a sequel does, man. Is gonna bring up the ante a lot more, kills a lot more to it, and I really hope that's the case, man. Because a lot of that stuff was missing in the previous one, so I hope we do get better kills and all that.
For sure. And also as far as predictions go, do you have any theories about who, will not survive or who will get killed off?
I have a big feeling, man, and I did mention this in my reaction video. I Something's telling me they're gonna kill off Gail, man. Uh,
Mm,
Probably because of that one scene in the trailer, where she's on the phone, and I will say they 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 had Gail spill a lot of those cheesy lines.
mhm.
Um, if you guys seen the trailer, you guys know what I mean, man. And yeah, for sure, this film's gonna be packed with a lot of those cheesy lines, man. But it's all good.
Uh Actually, let's just change gears now. So basically, as far as my predictions go, I think Mindy and Randy will not survive. I think the second movie is, I think the second of the new movie is the new Spyglass trilogy. And wait, one second.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. From that, I could see a Mindy and the brother dying because they were side characters. Um, and yeah, and I believe even the first teaser trailer, where they're like in the subway, they kind of teased Mindy's death. She probably might not die in that scene. Maybe, you never know. But yeah, I could see them dying for sure.
Yeah, and like I mentioned, since it's the new Spyglass trilogy, I think they will die because it'll be a callback to when Randy died in the second film. And, since they're blood related, this will make a lot of sense, but we'll see what happens. Also, like I mentioned before, I think Gail might die, and Sydney will return for the next movie, hopefully, if Nev Campbell is paid the right amount that she wants.
Yeah, man, for sure. And that'll be interesting because Scream 5, we had Dewey died. And
Mhm.
let's say, like, if they were to kill off Gale in this one, I think it'll make the story more dramatic. Like, it will be more deep, and maybe Gale's death would be Sydney's, like she has to come back for sure. Like, yeah, I think that might be her motive. Maybe that might be her reason why she decides to come back for the seventh film. Maybe because of the Gale's death.
Yeah,
She
for
really has to do something at this point.
For sure. I was just thinking this too. Speaking of Nev Campbell, imagine how crazy it would be if Nev Campbell's salary dispute was actually just a publicity stunt to hide the fact that Sydney was in it and was the killer.
I hope that's the case, man. Because yeah, when they announced that it was over the money dispute, I was like, really, man, is this what this is all about? But
Yeah,
then after that, a while after that, when a lot of the like Scream 6 stuff started to come out, I did hear that it was mainly for the story. It was mainly for it was intended for her to not be in Scream 6 because that's, I guess, the story was written, and I guess she was meant for part 7,
yeah,
which
for
I do hope that's the case, man, because the whole money dispute thing, it seemed a little like off to me. I don't know.
yeah, for sure. It would definitely shock a lot of fans if Sydney ended up being in this movie and was the killer. I would like jump out of my seat. I'd be like, "What?"
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, anything is possible. You never know.
Yeah. Also, I like how it seems like Ghostface is less playful and more of a brutal psychopath in this movie. It'll be interesting to see if the film is very humor based or if they're truly setting a new tone for the franchise. And I have a feeling that this Ghostface will pay attention to the mistakes that the other Ghostface killers have made in the past in order to survive. And, that would actually explain Sidney Prescott's absence because the killer is aware that she is the survivor and she's far too dangerous. And they're smart enough to know that, you know, Sidney Prescott is the final girl and will ultimately win. So,
Yeah, man, for sure. Ghostface does look a lot more smart in this one. A lot more. He ain't taking shit. You
mm,
can tell, and it kind of does fall back to the whole killer thing. Like, for sure, it'll be more than, I think there'll be maybe two, maybe three. Um, but yeah, man, you could tell Ghostface ain't playing in this one. He's really gonna go after these people, man, and really kind of finish what he started. Uh, and I wanted to, are you a fan of like the whole in Scream 5? Did you like the whole like flashbacks, like Samantha seeing Billy Loomis ghost? Did you like that? And would you like to kind of see that still in Scream 6?
Personally, I just wasn't a fan of it because I understand that they're blood related. I do, but in my opinion, I think they should have just introduced someone that doesn't have a connection to Billy in its entirety. I just thought it was a little silly for her to have flashbacks of her dead father, who she actually never met, by the way.
Yeah.
I know she must have seen like pictures and stuff. That's why she was able to like visualize him, but I don't know. It felt a little silly to me and a little ridiculous.
Yeah, and like you said, if it was someone completely not related, I think it would have made the story more intriguing, more to it, because we have a daughter of a serial killer, and like you said, she never met him. So if they met, I could kind of see like some kind of connection there, man. But yeah, I mean, the connection to that original movie, to the original killer, is pretty good, but it is a little silly
Mhm.
to see kind of like Samantha seeing her dead father's ghost like in the mirror. Like, I don't know, it was silly. And like, I even heard that maybe Billy's the whole reason why Samantha could possibly be the killer in this one. But I think, I mean, if Samantha was to turn out to be the killer, um, I don't think that motive is as great, is as like Billy Loomis. Like I don't think that reason is not as valid. You know.
Yeah, and it makes me wonder if, Billy's, not mother, trying to remember, okay, so Sam, yeah, I don't know, I have no idea what I don't know what they're gonna do with this next upcoming film, but, I'm really excited to see.
Yeah, man. And another thing I also wanted to mention about Scream Six is the whole, like from what I heard, it's gonna like kind of touch on a few things that obviously haven't been touched on before in
Mhm.
the Scream movies, and of course, this whole new the point of this new Scream movie is the whole change, the scenario. Do you think it would like live up to the it would live up to the whole would it be as good as looked at as great as the other Scream movies, or do you think just the fact that it's so different, people will look at it like different? Like I don't know, like
Yeah, yeah, I get what you're saying. So I think people are gonna look at this film. I'm trying to stay optimistic about it, and I'm sure a lot of people are too. Scream 5, like I mentioned earlier on in the stream, really played it safe. They kept everything to a bare minimum, and they just wanted to appeal to fans and make a very simplistic kind of movie to put the franchise back on track. But with this new one, new setting, new characters, so I don't know. I hope it lives up to the hype. That's all I can really ask for.
yeah, man, for sure. And also the whole this scene I wanted to talk about, where they see the
Yeah,
whole costumes.
shrine scene?
Yeah, something about that scene, man, I'm really looking forward to because when I first saw it in the trailer, like I said, it was a little like silly kind of, but then I thought about it and I was all like, okay, yeah, maybe the story goes more deeper, man. Maybe the history goes more deeper. Maybe we'll find out uh some new information. Maybe even um the cops, like the new cop character. Maybe he has some type of connection with the previous films or the previous killers.
Yeah.
You never know, but yeah, for sure, those the new cop character really does seem like a suspect, like you said.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm definitely speculating it could be him, but again, there's new characters that we haven't been introduced to yet that could also be on my suspect list. So obviously, I can't say that he's gonna be the killer because there could be also other accomplices that could be involved as well.
Yeah, a lot of the new characters, and that's one thing we did see with the photos they released, the trailers.
Mhm.
There's gonna be new faces, new characters, which happen to be Samantha's new friends or whatever. And hey, I could see them. I could see them also kind of playing tricks with the sisters.
Yeah, for sure.
Kind of like getting them to like since I guess this since the events in Scream 5 they were like I'm pretty sure it was worldwide like news. So you could say like Samantha and the sister, they're like kind of known for this case. Um, so yeah, I have a feeling like once they land in New York, they will be recognized. I think they will be like it will be kind of hard for them to hide like in through New York and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
again, like you mentioned, like, considering the fact that Gail Weathers does her live broadcasts, I believe, in New York City, so it makes sense, and, she's gonna probably get involved with them, and then people are gonna start drawing their attention to them and stuff, and, yeah, obviously, someone might even recognize them from the news or something, like, on the subway, because I
Yeah,
noticed there's one ghost face that was looking, back and forth at him, so, yeah, that's always a possibility.
yeah, man. Lot of interesting stuff, man. Lot of good, interesting plots we could look at from the trailer. I think the trailer did. Like, do you think it showed a lot?
Maybe a little bit in the beginning, with the whole because they kinda just spoiled that scene with him with, like, the shotgun going into the convenience store. But besides that, they kinda kept everything a little secret, I feel like. Maybe they spoiled a little too much in the beginning, but that's about it.
Yeah. You're gonna be reading some of these comments. Brandon loves the movies. In defense of Jason takes Manhattan, Ron heading for Vancouver, and he could. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. I actually did hear about that as well. For Jason takes Manhattan.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true. They
for sure.
shot a majority of the film on the boat, so I understand that, but again, it took halfway through the movie for them to finally get to Manhattan, you know? I mean, they did the best they could, but, I don't know. I feel like the movie would have been better if the whole thing was just on the boat and they could have called it something else.
According to the commentary track on the Crystal Lake Memories Blu-ray, they actually went over budget. According to Peter Brack.
Hmm,
Interesting.
interesting. It's good that we have another live chat after that confusement last week. I missed everyone. Much respect. Yeah, we appreciate you guys tuning in for sure. We're running into technical difficulties, but we got everything situated. Uh, we actually met a little bit earlier to make sure we got this stream on track. So we appreciate you guys joining today.
Yeah, man, for sure. I seen a lot of you guys, man. We're really looking forward to it. But yeah, uh, we were running a little late last week, and we were this whole stream yard, this whole like to set up the live stream. It kind of did held us a little back, man. But yeah, we you guys already know we were gonna make it up to you guys.
Yeah. I actually got Friday the 13th Part 2 from 1981 going with Amy Steele's commentary as I watch this. It's so cool to see everyone. That's awesome.
Just dope.
Uh,
Yeah.
the tweet said hashtag Scream 6 hits theaters with an upgraded Ghostface and ready to redeem its mistakes March 9th. Oh, that's interesting. And they deleted that? That's crazy.
Yeah, maybe they kind of maybe it was too soon for them.
Hmm.
But I mean, yeah, that little. I mean, a lot of things came to my mind.
Yeah, for sure.
Mistakes. Interesting that they said that. Yeah, that is weird, man. That is kind of strange that they were to delete it. They do a lot of stuff like that. I remember. Well, I remember a while ago they kind of posted something before they announced the Friday Peacock series. They
Hmm.
kind of teased something, man, and I think they had it deleted.
Yeah, it might have been an issue on their marketing team. They probably had someone post that and they weren't supposed to at the time or something.
Johnny, what's up, man? Glad you made it on here.
What's up, Johnny? I think Jenna or the Jenna character might be one of the killers. It's definitely a possibility. I'm not going to put my money on it yet. I kind of have to see how she progresses throughout the film. So,
Yeah, I agree. And if I don't know, I just think you'll kind of take away from like I like if she was to be the killer, like I'm not sure if it was meant seriously or I have no idea. But hey, I could see it happening since she's like the biggest star in this movie. I could kind of see them doing that. But hey, I don't think it would be taken as serious.
yeah.
I don't know. Like when for Scream 5 when Amber was the killer, did you take it like serious? Like honestly, Amber, I since the beginning of the movie, I knew Amber was one of them for sure.
Yeah, for sure. She was definitely on my suspect list as well. She just gave off a really creepy vibe. Um, but I'm not gonna lie, the scene where she shot the girl in the face, I kind of shocked me. I guess I wasn't expecting it at that moment, but
Yeah,
I didn't really take her seriously as one of the killers. And same with Richie. I think personally that they're the weakest ghost faces in the series. But
yeah, that's true.
I thought it was fine. Again, I think Scream 5 is a fine movie. Could have been a lot better, and I think if Wes Craven had directed it, like he was originally supposed to, but obviously he due to his passing that wasn't able to happen. I think he would have done a much better job.
Yeah. So Chippy says Jenna would have a perfect motive to kill. What do you think will be her motive, Chippy? You
Hmm.
should let us know. I
Yeah.
mean, let me think about it.
Yeah, I gotta take a minute to think about
I
that.
mean, I could see it. Um,
Maybe the fact that her sister Sam kind of lied to her about like
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
that's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, and then the because I never knew 100% for sure. Maybe you do. Let me ask you, man. Was Samantha the only child by Billy Loomis, or was it also Jenna's character?
So I believe they're half siblings. I think I they're not like blood related. But that's all I know really.
Yeah, yeah. Because I kind of like from Scream Five, I kind of like took it as Sam was the father.
Mm.
I mean Sam. Uh, Billy was the father of Sam, and more than Jenna, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a little confusing.
Yeah, but yeah, Chippy for sure. I mean, let us know, man. What do you think that her motive might be? Maybe about the whole, um, like Slasher said, the whole about how Samantha kind of lied to her. Her sister made her family separate. I mean, yeah, man, for sure. And yeah, you could tell, um, once Screen Five opens, you could tell they never really had the greatest relationship. They were
Yeah,
always like separated. So I mean, maybe.
yeah. So I just googled it. It says Sam returns and reveals that she is the half sister, like I mentioned. As Sam is the original. Wait, what is this? Wait, as Sam is original Ghostface, Billy's daughter. The revelation caused Tara's biological father to abandon them both when Tara was around 6. Oh, okay, so that or around 8. That actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wish they did a little bit of a better job explaining it in the film, but it's whatever.
How the killers got all the evidence from multiple police departments. Yeah, man, for sure. That's one thing I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, how the hell they have the whole all the evidence, all the costumes, everything from the previous movies. It seems interesting, man.
Exactly. I'm looking forward to that too. And guys, if you actually screenshot that image of the whole Ghostface shrine, if you look really closely, you can see that each robe on the bottom has a nameplate. So they're listed as like Billy, Stu, Roman, like everybody.
Yeah, interesting stuff, man. Yeah. So yeah, I think it will have to do a lot with the whole cult status.
Hmm.
Since they're doing the whole shrine and stuff like that. I think, yeah, man. The killer, whoever it is, it might have to do with like some type of code.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's always someone, in the past. It's always someone who kind of like it's always connected one way or another.
Mhm. Agreed. I don't want Stu Macher to return. He died in the fall of 1996. Let him remain passed away. I absolutely agree with that. 100%.
Yeah, man, for sure. Machete Slasher, what's up, man?
Oh, this is a good one from Heath. Why is there only one glass case in the middle for Billy only? That's really interesting. I don't know. You figured all the costumes would have the glass cases, right?
Yeah, that's true, man. Maybe Billy's is, I don't know, something a little weird there.
Yeah. Maybe because he's like the mastermind behind everything, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, the original killer or something that maybe
Yeah.
makes it more valuable.
Yeah. At this point, we're just speculating.
Yeah, but yeah, man, a lot of interesting stuff, man. A lot of interesting stuff. A lot of things that catches us off guard in the trailer, and a lot of things that you could say you a lot of things do click together, man. If you really think about it, and yeah, and I mean the movie's right around the corner, man. We need like one about a little bit over a month, man.
Yep, I'm hyped for it. Can't wait to see what they're gonna do.
Billy Loomis is like his idol, or Stu would be next to him. Yeah, I mean, yeah, especially if like they were to have them in order, that'll be maybe something to really to look into, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Brandon made a good point over here. Technically, Roman Bridger is the retcon mastermind, though. Yeah, but they haven't like addressed him. I don't believe in like any of the sequels, which is kind of weird. I in Scream 4, I wish they would have like mentioned him at least.
Yeah,
He's kind
yeah,
of the
man.
behind.
He's the one from Scream 3, right?
Yep, he's the one that filmed. What was Sydney's mother's name? Why am I blanking out on her name? But she recorded him and Billy Loomis's father at the time while they're having an affair, and I guess that's how Billy found out. I don't know. Let me know in the comments.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe that's the whole. Maybe that's Billy Loomis's. I mean, that was his motive, right? Because of his whole parents, the motive he wanted to kill Sydney.
Oh, so Roman's motive was basically that he felt neglected because his mother kind of didn't pay attention to him, and he went into her with open arms, and she basically said, you're not my real child or whatever, and that was his motive, I guess.
Yeah,
A little silly, but Scream 3 is not the worst. Well, it's the worst in the series, but it's not as bad as people say it is.
yeah, man, for sure. I actually rewatched Scream 3 not too long ago, and yeah, it's not that bad, man. I like the scenario too. The story, yeah, could have been better, but I like the scenario. That's the one where they're like in Hollywood, right?
Yep.
They're like filming. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
they're
wasn't
filming
too
for
bad.
Stab 3.
Yeah, and for sure, I do think it's the weakest one from the whole series, but
Yeah.
it still wasn't a bad film.
Yeah, it's very enjoyable. It's entertaining. It's got a lot of action. Um, and I like the killer reveal. I thought Roman was one of the best killers in the series, considering he did everything on his own too. And I really like that voice changer. I know it's a little silly that the voice changer could like emulate other voices and impersonate them. That's a little bit of a stretch, but again, it's not as bad as people say it is.
Yeah, man, for sure. And yeah, I think because in Scream 3 it was just Roman, right? It was just one killer.
Yep, it was
I
just
think I think that's what really made it kind of stand out a little more, you know, because he was on his own, man. He was like he really didn't need no one else, you know.
right. And I'm actually just curious. I'm wondering if Roman ever crossed paths with Billy Loomis in some way. I don't know. Let me know in the live chat, guys. Did he ever cross paths with him? Was that ever mentioned? I don't believe so.
I mean, it would be it would make a lot of sense, man, if they were to like maybe some one way or another cross paths,
Yeah.
because if Billy if that's how he found out about his mom
Mm,
and or what was it, his dad and Sydney's mom, something like that.
yeah.
They were involved, you know, and maybe I don't know, I don't think it was explained in the movies, but maybe Roman was the reason Billy found out.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking because he's the one that got all the footage of Billy's dad going over to Sydney's mother's house and stuff during the whole affair. Like he's the one that filmed all that.
Yeah, for sure. So it does leave like a little question mark there, man.
Machete Slasher said didn't excuse me, didn't Roman tell Billy to kill Marine? I think it was implied. I don't know if it was ever confirmed though. I think it was implied.
Yeah.
I don't know though. I'm really not sure.
Yeah, man, a lot of interesting stuff in the series, man. You could say they didn't really never touched on. Maybe, I mean, obviously, I don't think if they were to touch on it now in this new movie, because of course a lot of characters have died, you know, so it really wouldn't be no point in for them to like bring a lot of stuff up. But I really do hope, man, for Scream Six, the whole reveal, whoever the killer is, I hope it's done in a smart way, like you said, maybe someone of the new characters, or maybe something new, something a fresh new killer reveal, but maybe still have someone from the past kind of connected to it. Who knows? But yeah, man, it does seem a lot of interesting stuff
Yeah.
surrounding this.
Heath says, in my opinion, there should be two glass cases considering both Stu and Billy brought different but equal aspects of killing to the table. That's very true. They did most of the killing together and stuff. And, that's a really good point.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, now that you guys bring it up, that Billy was the only one with the glass. Um, I mean, yeah, maybe that could be a clue, man. Maybe, and let's say if Stu Mockers was next to Billy's and his is not like in a glass container, like I don't know, it could be maybe a clue to something.
Yeah, for sure. Brandon loves the movie, says, and after him, Billy Loomis, I felt like that he stood out. But originally in the final screenplay and edit, there was going to be him and Angelina. Yeah, him and Angelina were originally supposed to be the killers, but I think the script got leaked. I'm not exactly sure.
Just don't kill Gil. Save Robbie. I hope so, man. Hey, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do.
Exactly. And just a thought here. Well, it's not really a thought, but apparently Courtney Cox wasn't happy with the fact that David Arquette got killed in Scream 5, and she went over to, like, the executives and were like, "Please don't do this," but they did it anyway, and I have a feeling they're gonna do the same thing to her character because, I get she's an actress in this film, but she doesn't really have a say in her character. These new writers do, so I don't know, I feel like they might kill her off, personally.
Yeah, yeah. It wouldn't be surprising because, like I said earlier, I think it'll bring the ante a little more up, and it would maybe that'll be enough reasoning, enough motive for Sydney to come back for the seventh film.
Mhm. Yep.
And yeah, I can't wait how Sydney would step into. Maybe Sydney, man, could be the reason, or the one who's to stop all this stuff, man. Since she's the original target, but I mean, who knows? Who really does know?
Yeah, exactly. I think we pretty much touched on everything as far as the trailer goes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the trailer had a lot of good stuff, man, for sure. I mean, any other like shots, any other things from the trailer that kind of stand out to you,
Hmm.
other than Kirby's return, man? I'm really looking forward to her performance, her role, man. How she is gonna like um fill in that blank for Sydney. I feel.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to see Kirby return. She was definitely a pivotal character in Scream 4, in my opinion. Uh, she was like a horror movie fanatic. She's just like you and me, so that's why a lot of people were drawn to her character, and the fact that she's returning, is really exciting, and plus her death wasn't really confirmed in Scream 4 because you could actually see her breathing right before the camera cuts, so it's definitely plausible that she could return. So, I'm glad they're bringing her back.
Let me ask you this: would you like to see Charlie from the fourth movie come back? Because I believe he didn't die neither, right? Like we didn't get official confirmation.
Personally, just based on the way that, Jill turned on him and he got stabbed, like, right in the heart a bunch of times,
Oh,
uh,
right, right.
yeah, which is, like, a sensitive kinda spot. I mean,
Yeah, so
Kirby
he's probably dead.
yeah, Kirby got stabbed in the stomach, so I feel like she could survive that, and she got stabbed twice. Um, Maybe before she bled out, like, the ambulance came and picked her up. That's possible. But I feel like with Charlie, his death was much more gruesome, and it's kind of I don't know.
It's
I
more
personally feel that
self-explanatory. Yeah,
yeah, I feel like he's dead.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I heard I was reading about some theory like that. Maybe Charlie, maybe his motive. Maybe that's why they even have Kirby in there, since
Mm.
by the end, Kirby did kind of do him wrong. Maybe that could be his motive. But yeah, now that I really think about it, yeah, I think he pretty much died for sure in the fourth movie.
Yeah, and in my opinion, he wasn't much of, like, an intriguing character. He didn't really have, like, a huge role per se. He was kind of just the guy that did the dirty work for Jill. Jill was, like, the mastermind behind everything. But,
Yeah,
yeah, I can't really picture him returning, and same thing for Jill because her arc is pretty much done after everything that occurred in the hospital. Um, yeah, you know?
yeah, and I think it'll be a little silly if let's say Jill were to come back. Like her whole motive, her whole reason in Scream 4 was for her to be as famous as a celebrity,
Yeah.
like her cousin. So I think that whole motive, that whole scenario, I don't really see it, man, because I feel with Scream 6 they're moving on to more serious tones, more serious or you know, that's
Yeah.
how they're making it look to be. They're gonna take stuff a little bit more serious, man. So they really I don't think they want to get caught up in all that, about stuff from the previous films.
Yeah, and I'm not the biggest fan of them resurrecting characters. I think Kirby's an exception because, like I mentioned, her death was never really confirmed, and Wes had intended on her actually surviving. Uh, but as far as the rest of the characters go throughout the series, I think they should just remain dead and focus on new characters.
I believe I asked you this last week when we did the little live stream on Instagram, or I probably asked you off camera. I could be wrong, but
Hmm.
what do you think? Do you think this whole, and we haven't seen Scream 6 yet, obviously, but do you think these films, this new trilogy of Scream 6, from what we've seen from the Scream 5 as of now, do you think it's a good tribute, a good way to continue the Scream movies, like in remembrance of Wes Craven?
Yeah, I think the whole requel idea was pretty interesting. Uh, they did a lot of things, a lot of unique things, like, for example, killing off a major character. That was really ballsy. They didn't do it in the they didn't really do it in a good way, in my opinion, but they still did it, so I kinda respect them for that. Also, the opening girl actually survives for the first time, which was pretty unique. So they did introduce some new aspects to the table, but, I think personally, Wes I think he would have liked it. He definitely I think he would agree that it kept it to a bare minimum, everything was really safe, because they just want to appeal to fans and make the franchise feel like Scream again. I think that was their intention, because they're going the same route that Halloween 2018 did. They're trying to make it feel like that original Halloween again, and, I think they were successful for the most part for Scream, but now for this next new movie, I think they're gonna take a lot more chances, especially with the whole scenery being different in New York. There's a lot of things that they can do, so we just gotta wait and see.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure.
Brandon Loves the Movie says, "Yeah, on the Blu-ray commentary, Kirby survived. Now Charlie got stabbed directly in his heart." Yep, we just talked about that before. Dialogue addressed it, so I can see him dying now. Yeah, Charlie's dead in my opinion, hands down. I can't see him returning.
Yeah. Charlie getting a huge butcher knife to the heart. But remember, Ghostface says, calls Terra in the beginning. Oh, yeah. That's one thing. When I was reading about the whole theory about the Charlie, that was also one of the main reasons. One of the things they brought up, man, about. But I think that was just a random
Yeah,
name
I
they
think that was
threw in
just a
there.
random thing that he said, like a
Yeah.
random.
That doesn't, I mean, yeah, I could see how people could connect it, but I feel like, yeah, it was, I don't think it was really intended. I think it was just a random thing.
Yeah, I agree. It's a little bit of a stretch, but I could kinda see where you're coming from.
Yeah. A lot of interesting stuff. I mean, do you have any thoughts, any theories, any uh things left for Scream Six?
No, I pretty much covered everything.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, man. All we gotta do now is wait for March. I believe it's March something.
Yeah.
Uh, for Scream Six to come out, man. And yeah, for sure. Definitely we'll be touching on it once we watch the movie. You know.
Yeah, for sure. And once the film comes out, we should definitely do another stream and break down the movie and give our thoughts.
Oh yeah, man, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Once we see the movie, obviously everything's gonna be out, and we have new perspectives, new things to look at, man. I think it will definitely be pretty cool. And we should also do. This is a live stream I was trying to do for a while now, man, but I actually never got to it. I was trying to do like a review, like just one live stream
Mm.
reviewing the Blumhouse Halloween movies at once, or not at once, but in one live stream
Right.
reviewing that trilogy. But yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that's something we could definitely do too. If you want to break down the Blumhouse Halloween movies, now that Halloween Ends is, well, it's been out for like a while, but yeah, we should definitely touch on those movies for sure.
Yeah, man. I'll for sure be down, man. Any live discussion, I'm definitely always open to do it.
Yeah. And again, like we mentioned before, when we were talking, I'm so glad that this movie's actually called Scream Six. Even with the Roman numerals, it's still cool. I like it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I thought that was a great idea because to me it was weird at first since Scream Five was just Scream. It wasn't
Yeah.
no five, and it is weird that this next one is Scream Six. Obviously us real fans know five, six, but I don't know. It could be weird to someone from the outside looking in. Coming from a movie called just Scream and then Scream V1.
Mhm.
I could see how it could get confusing from someone looking from the outside looking in. But
Yeah, because exactly. I was just gonna say that someone looking from an outside perspective, they might like a casual fan might just assume that it's a remake going into it. So that's why I didn't like how they just called it Scream. Halloween did the same thing.
yeah, man. Yeah, and even though it's like the numerals, I still really do like it, man, because I think it's really clever. It's really clever for them to add the six, especially nowadays. They don't really do the whole number thing no more.
Yeah,
It definitely was a great thing to see, man. Because yeah, I thought it was gonna be titled Scream something else.
I did too. There was actually one thing that was released. It said "Scream" with two exclamation points and like as of like drips of blood. I was hoping that wouldn't be the title. The working. I think that was just the working title or something. I'm not exactly sure, but
Oh yeah, you're talking about like with the two like explanation marks, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I saw that one. I kind of indicated like with that title, I kind of got like they were kind of calling it Scream 2, but it is a little weird, calling it Scream 2. I know the first one was just Scream,
yeah,
but yeah, it's still a little weird.
yeah. I think it was a good choice going with the Roman numerals this time around. I think they should have done the Roman numerals for Scream 5, but they didn't. But it's whatever.
Yeah, man, for sure. I seen a lot of people with Scream 5. They were like, you know how they do the numeral with one of the letters.
Yeah,
Uh, I've always seen this, man. They would always do like the five with the S in Scream, so that would have been pretty dope right there.
yeah. A lot of people joke that with the 5 right in the where the S is supposed to be, it looks like it says 5 cream, but I don't they could have made it look cool. I would have dug it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because obviously, no doubt, it's a S, for Scream.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I think if they would have added the five, it would have made it for sure
Yeah.
more to it.
Mhm.
But I do understand, since they were trying to do a fresh new start to the series.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, interesting stuff.
Heath says, "Love the mask, pretty dope. Friday the 13th, the new beginning, and that looks like a Friday the 13th 3D mask." Yep, this is from part 3.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man. Thank you. This one's a custom one. Been having for a while.
I always love the Roy Burns mask. I love the blue chevrons and the weathering that it has.
Yeah, yeah, and in the fifth film, it wasn't as weathered,
Yeah,
but I don't know. Even the film itself, man, I like Part Five. I know it's not. It's obviously a like a fake Jason, but I don't know, something about that film I've always liked. I don't
yeah,
know, and especially the mask. I just like the blue chevrons. It's just different than the ordinary Jason mask.
for sure. They ever do like a Friday the 13th type of reboot, I guess? Well, I know they're doing the prequel series, but that's a prequel. I'm talking about if they ever decide to do a new movie. I think they should change up the look of the hockey mask. And maybe instead of these like old school hockey masks, they could use like a new one that like actual hockey players use.
The more bigger ones, huh?
Yeah, like the bigger ones, and then add the chevrons, weather it, make it look really dirty. I think that would look really cool. I'd be cool with that.
Yeah, for sure. That's like a new modern improved version of the Jason mask. Yeah, I think it would work, especially like with the newer hockey masks.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, and I can't wait what they do with Jason, man. I really do hope they that little Peacock series is something good to look forward to.
yeah, for sure.
Part Five is really a whodunit slasher that had a creative storyline that made a lot of sense. Yeah, yeah. At first, Part Five was always one of my least favorites, man. Like throughout the years, simply because it was just it was just another typical random slasher, man. But with time, it definitely has grown on me. You know.
Yeah, I agree. Part 5 was a weird movie to me personally, just because of like the whole copycat Jason thing. And it's weird to me too because Roy Burns barely had any screen time in that movie. Like
Yeah,
he was only in the beginning scene. I guess his son got killed. He was the one that got killed with the axe. And that was his son, I guess, and that was his motive behind the killings. But that's just so random. It's like why him out of all people?
yeah, yeah, for sure. It's one of those to me guilty pleasures. The Part Five. Um, I'm aware it's not the greatest, but I always end up rewatching it. It's funny, man, because they did a lot of comparing. It's funny how they're comparing Scream Six to Jason Takes Manhattan. Even like I've seen people kind of do like similar posters.
Mhm.
Um, and they were comparing Friday the 13th Part Five to Halloween Ends. Man, that's a good kind of side by side.
Yeah, Halloween Ends, in my opinion, was basically Friday the 13th Part 5 mixed with Christine and mixed with Jason Goes to Hell, like, all those films combined.
Yeah, that's very true.
Brandon says he was in 2 scenes. Excuse me. He also says, "You talking to me, Sheriff? I thought you were talking to me." Yeah, but, like, out of all people, why him? Like, at least give him more screen time so we could get to know him, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
I
If we like if they had like a whole little backstory on Roy Burns before he he puts on the hockey mask, I think, and we would have got to know him. I think the Roy Burns character would have been more accepted. It would have been more of a fan base on the Roy Burns character.
I agree, 100%. But, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about Scream 6. I'm looking forward to it. If they release any additional teaser trailers, I'm probably not gonna watch them because I don't wanna get spoiled too much, you know? I just kinda wanna wait for the film at this point.
Yeah, man, same here. Because a lot of good TV spots always end up coming out, especially towards the end. When the movie's about to come out,
Yeah,
and yeah, they do end up revealing a lot of stuff. So same here. I always try to avoid all that, man, so I could just watch the film when it comes out.
yeah, for sure.
But same here, man. I mean, I think we covered it all up. We touched on the main things we wanted to talk about. Scream Six. The trailer, the movie itself, a few of the theories that have been out there. But yeah, man. I mean, yeah, I think that's gonna be about it. Um, I mean, anything you guys, anything you would like for like to let them know to be looking forward to in your channel?
Yeah, so basically, it's basically I got same sort of content that's coming up that I've been normally doing. I got mask reviews, costume tests. I definitely want to do more live discussions like this because it's a lot of fun engaging with not only you, Michael Myers, but everyone else in the chat here. And I appreciate you bringing me on tonight.
Yeah, man, no problem. Definitely had a pretty good time, man. Here, talking, chopping it up about Scream Six, and we should definitely have more. We should definitely be have more of these coming. So definitely be looking out.
Sounds good.
Yeah, man. So I want to thank all of you guys who were able to tune in tonight. Check us out. Like I said, we rescheduled, and once we come out with new live streams, new ideas, man, you guys will be the first one to know. So we could continue with more live streams and stuff like that. But shout out to all of you guys, man. Brandon loves the movies. It's Machete Slasher. All you guys who tuned in, man. Chippy, I want to thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a blessed night, a great night, blessed rest of your week, man. And we'll be coming out with more videos here, man. More content and more live streams. So yeah, man. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the next one, and we're out.
Have a good night, guys.
Peace out.